What's the truth to this world? What are the mysteries yet to be discovered? What's to build with the knowledge we grasp? These are the questions that the greatest mind of all mankind seek to answer. Those in pursuit of knowledge eventually became as one, led by the brothers of them all, Priscilla Flamel. They named themselves the Erudite. And of course, among the great minds in our time, there's me. My name is Nious Heiramond, the secretary of the Grand Alchemist Priscilla herself, and the epitome of the wrong man at the wrong place. No prior alchemy experience, no doctorate degree, no grasp in the numerous terminology thrown at me. Just the fact that I'm somewhat literate in the proximity of the illiterates secured a position that an intellect that me would never possessed. As if that's not absurd enough, a so-called gift of the Celestials befell, leaving a colossal crater on some poor family's land. This gift appeared to be a hollow and white container, fitted with a letter-like panel on the front. The side of the container reads a singular line of text that no one has of then managed to encrypt. Microwave oven. The discovery of the gift of the Celestials stirred up an everlasting storm amongst the rank of Erudite. However, with the great alchemist's assistance, it didn't take long for Erudite to reverse engineer a gateway to whence the gift of the Celestials came. An operation soon came into fruition. While I was tasked to document down everything down to the nitty-gritty in case Operation breached Catastrophe, the newcomer was out on the side rocking this performance that the lab junkies called a concert. And Catastrophe, it bred. At least, that was what Cinnia claimed. My memory ceased to recall up until that point in time. All I can remember is that by the time I woke up, Cinnia and I were the only ones left. Waking up in this alternative version of reality, a procrastinating secretary and an innocent farm girl not only intimidated by such a technologically advanced modern reality, but also the fact that the greatest mind in our reality couldn't even figure out the usage of a kitchen appliance. Whoops! It appears that there were some technical difficulties there. The video crashed essentially. Well, so sorry for the inconvenience. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The era has finally arrived in such inconvenient way. I didn't thought that was the key. But welcome to the beginning of a new chapter. It wouldn't be a good debut otherwise. Come on. Hello, everyone. Seeing a lot of familiar faces on Twitter. Very much thankful for all of yous. Welcome. Ooh, okay. That is a lot more people than I initially anticipated. In fact, more than half a dozen people, maybe more than I initially anticipated, really. I mean, the secretary job is more of a 1 versus 1 occupation. There's not exactly a time when I need to, well, speak simultaneously to more than 5 or 6 more people. The most amount of people I've ever talked to was probably this one side job that I've done as a kindergarten teacher. Which is, what, 12 years ago? Anyhow, welcome everyone to, how do you call this again? Yes, debut. I was getting familiar with the name, well, heritage bestowal ritual. But then apparently debut is what you all called, so I guess we'll start from there, I guess. Well, I'm still reminiscing about the fact that I literally just clicked that one button. That was embarrassing. Come on, of all the things, that was the one thing I misinterpreted. God. Okay. Don't worry. There's more to come. So, let's get straight into the main introduction, shall we? Now, there's gonna be a lot, and I mean a lot, of me talking, and I hope there's a lot more interaction between me and the chat, so hopefully we can extend this a lot longer than it has to be. Anyhow, now, there's enough of me, here's more me. Need to get in screen. Hey, there you go. Right. Let's take my camera and then open it. Where's my scroll? Ow! Fuck, that's not the scroll. Right. There is the scroll, camera on. There we go. Haha. Right. Here's more of me. So, start from the top, shall we? User profile. The name is Nious Heiramond. If you haven't catched that from the numerous places where my name's presented. All the way from Twitter to, well, there's literally my name right down there. But it appears that the only problem people have with the name is not memorizing it, but rather pronouncing and spelling it. As just before the preparation, I realized a few things. The first thing being, well, I was trying to find a channel, because apparently the algorithm wasn't exactly on my side when I was trying to search for things on my channel, and I tried to type in my name. When it happened, it turns out no one, and I mean no one, spelled the name correctly. Apparently, the only Google search I have was Nious without the I. It was Nious. So many people spelled it wrong that it got to the YouTube search engine. It's so yeah. Apparently, everyone calls me Nious now. But to be honest, I don't blame you, really. The name is, quite frankly, a lot harder to pronounce than people anticipated, apparently. Oh no. Well, I guess that's my nickname from now on then. But going back to the name Nious, really. Even my good friend Cinnia had trouble pronouncing the name Nious when we first met. And if you really wanted to pronounce it right, here's the thing. Pronounce it as the video game Nier, but with the S and without the R. There you go. As simple as that. Not as hard as you think, huh? Nious is easy, but I guess the nickname Nuss will do. Anyhow, now onto the age. Okay, this is a bit complicated, to say the least. My real age is 29, of course, but then I actually came to this universe 4 years ago. But that was my 4 years ago. That's actually 16 years in this universe. However, for academic purposes, I am age 20. Now, this is gotta look extremely wrong if you go into college and say, hey, I'm actually a 20-year-old. Wait, I got into college when I was 18, at least to pretend age to be 18. And when I got in, I was like, hey, I'm actually 18, when in reality I was like 27. Which is not the best thing to be found out, but again, it's not that easy either to be going into a college for no particular reason, not even with a citizenship. I don't even have a citizen card. I don't even have an ID card yet. And apparently you need to go in tons of process to go through it, but too lazy. I mean, who's... Okay. In case you haven't, well, seen the tweet I've tweeted before on before the debut on Twitter, the neighbor above me apparently is renovating all the furniture around it, and it's like moving around the roof for me. And I'm so sorry if you can hear it, but if not, I'll be able to demonstrate just how lethal the paper scroll is. I want to beat the hell out of that guy. Of all the times he chose this time to renovate furnitures. Well, back to the topic, shall we? Anyhow, yeah. So just between you and me, my age is actually 29, but outside my age is 20. So let's not let other people know about this, shall we? Making background music for you. Ah, yes, a lot of percussions. Unwarranted just musics in general. Right, so now for the birthday. The birthday is May 2nd. And all the keen eyes of you and those of you who haven't yet fallen asleep, you realize that it's extremely close to today, March 18th. And until then, there's going to be some surprise and special offerings for all of you if you stay tuned enough. So remember this date firmly. Now on to the height and weight. I don't feel like this is important, but apparently people put this in, so there we go, we have this. For the height, I am at a astounding 185 centimeters tall, which is essentially average in some countries, but above average in some others. But I take it as granted. However, without much convenience sakes, I would say there's one particular precaution that people would like to pay attention to, which is that people around my height, at least around 180 to 190 in between, just remember this. The people who are around 160 to 170, aka Cinnia Antimony, the people who are around her height can perform the most devastating, and I mean devastating. I have to say this one more time to emphasize how important this is. Devastating uppercuts. Those punches are devastating. I have to say it 4 times now. So make sure to not mess with the people who are around her height. As for the imperial metrics, well, calculations, which I'm not really that good at calculating, I did got into English major just to not touch math for the sake of my life. And that is, I think, 6 foot 1 inches. It's really tall. It is? Well, I mean, suppose I see a lot of Mandarin letters in a lot of your names, so I think that's tall in those regions, I guess. But again, that doesn't really matter for me since, well, Cinnia can beat me in any fight when we got into one, so doesn't really matter at this point. As for the weight, this is definitely the unnecessary part for me, really, because, well, this, at least when I made this presentation, the weight is 74.8 kilograms, but this number goes up and down real fast. Let's just say this, back in my reality, everything's boiled. You have everything that's either boiled or they're fully cooked in, like, not grilled, like small sears. There's no like actual grills, there's no sears, there's no sauce. Everything's eaten raw, really. And stomachache is just something that you have to, well, get used to there. But then I got here. Let's just say that the sweet food here is not doing me justice. I'm not exactly good at pretending that I don't like to eat sweet food. Chocolate, sugar, any sugar related food is just so good. And I just couldn't stop myself from eating. So it's always this like go up and down, trying to control myself to, well, not eat so much. So I go down weight, and I thought it was a good idea to go, hey, let's reward me for a while and buy a bunch of chocolates and cakes. And then the weight's back. I presume that a lot of people here also have the same problem, because apparently sweet tooth is something that people shares. Right. Now for... Right, I see one right here. Alright. Any emojis right here? Anyone who likes chocolate? Let me know. Because I ate too much chocolate. Right. Now, on to occupation. Apparently, all the people in my, well, universe have apparently persist on always calling the name. Alright, I see a lot more going up. Nice. Wait, no, not nice. We should cut down sugar food together, okay? Too much chocolate is not good. Too much chocolate. Right, now, on to occupation, back at it. What was that again? Oh yeah. Back in my universe, everyone, and I mean anyone, is persistent on calling me by this name, this occupation name, before calling my full name. And it kind of goes like this. Greetings, Personal Secretary of Erudite's Grand Alchemist Nious Heiramond. How's your day? Such a tongue twister, but seemingly everyone's able to nail it on the first try. Not me though. But if that's too much of a tongue twister for you, then I don't blame you, because it's also too much of a tongue twister for me. So if you really want a name before my actual name, then the second one will do. College student. Or college scholar if you want more flair to it. As of the known languages, you'll realize that I speak only 2 languages. But I am learning more languages on the times what I foreseen future. But for now, the fluent language I can speak at the time is English. And this is another story I have to talk about. When I first got here, I was speaking what you called medieval English, which is the English that you speak 1,000 years ago. And it took me quite a while to realize how different it is. Like, everyone calls bathrooms. No one calls it lavatory. So it took me like a good year and two to realize just how stupid my English is. So I learned the modern English that you guys called. But then I realized English is just not enough. So I went on a research to search for the most frequently spoken languages in this universe. The ones that I found was English, Chinese, and Mandarin. Wait, no, Spanish. Last one, Spanish. And well, a few people speak Cantonese, so Chinese can be one of the categories, but mainly Mandarin Chinese and Spanish and English. So I started learning Chinese because it's the most complicated one. Oh, how I am so wrong for that decision. Turns out Chinese is one of the hardest language to learn. Go figure, right? So, as it goes right now, you realize that my English goes with a little bit of that Chinese in it. That I like to call it Chinglish. But don't worry, I'm not alone. My good friend Cinnia also had this kind of problem, but dare I say her accent's a lot better than mine. Can you read Mandarin? Yes, I can. But unfortunately, I cannot speak Mandarin. Because first of all, if I speak Mandarin, it's gotta suck. I see a lot of, dare I say, Taiwanese people down here, I guess. Or, I don't know. A lot of people who speak Chinese, at least. And I don't want to embarrass myself speaking Chinese in front of you. What language are you learning? I'm currently learning Spanish. And I can confidently say that I can read and write Chinese. Not speak, though. I can't speak at all. Favorite language, indeed. Now, enough of me. There's the things that I like. Even if my mother tongue is still difficult. I guess so, because apparently so much dialects are in Chinese that I can't even begin to start with a single accent. There's so many different elements to it. It's not just accent in it. Oh, no, far from it. And then the grammar just doesn't make sense at all. Like, how many of you have passed Chinese back in high school? Because I know I didn't. Heck, there is a Chinese course that I took in college. It was not mandatory, but I wanted to take it because I'm learning it. It was horrible. It was very, very bad. I see see a few people here. Failing Chinese with mother tongue. So that makes sense. You try your best to learn. Oh yeah, I hope so. Okay, those few words means that well said, I guess? Yeah, well said. Is that it? I think it is. Right. Anyway, let's not waste more times. Now on to the likes and dislikes. So you realize that a few things here goes hand in hand. And we'll go through it one by one, and you'll see just how much of a ranting, well, for the lack of a better word, piece of shit I am. For the likes, I like a good story. Like, I am way too much into the structure of stories. This is going to be a appearing pattern for me. And that is that I'm going to be, well, having all kinds of rant when there's even a story presented. So, in the foreseeing future, when we're playing games or when we're reading stories, just if I started just going non-stop ranting and just talking about, oh, the tone here is all wrong, the thing here is bad, the character is so inconsistent, you can either do you can do either two of the things. Stop me before I go on a 2 hours rant, or let me go in until I finish and realize how dumb I am. And as for the things that goes hand in hand, is the well-written characters. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory, really. If a character is very well written with all kinds of complicated dynamics, I will be drooling all over it. So, again, this could be a bad thing, depends on if you like me talking or not, but if I see a good written character or a good written story, the essay mode is going to be turned on. But the last one is more like a personal preferences. If thinking out loud is a specialty, then I say that I'll have 2 PhD for it. I just love mindless chatting, just talking non-stop about anything that's around me or talking about stories that I had before. And this is, once again, going to be something that's going to be happening a lot. Also, stay tuned if you like stories, and there's going to be a lot of story copy pasta. Dislike advice. Yeah, I'll get to it. As for the dislikes, well, the first two are very much close together. And I mean, it's also very much self-explanatory. Right. There, I like to say this before. When I first got here, I wasn't thinking much when I thought it was a good idea to get myself into the academy system or school system in general. But then I got into the school systems. Then I realized, okay, to elaborate this, back in my universe, the schools here teach more about practical knowledge, about how to live, how to survive, how to do things correctly, how to find a job, and how to do things right. Then I got to the schools here. It was textbook after textbook, subjects after subjects, and just memorizing one chapter to the other. I can't even just begin to imagine just how many textbooks I have already, and I mean already, memorized from the first page to the last. I absolutely hate memorizing because of that. It's just memorizing for the sake of test. Studying is kind of, yeah, turns out right. Couldn't realize about that. I mean, a lot of you may be having that kind of trouble too. But I mean, I can't be the only one who's alone. I hate studying. Like, from the bottom of my heart, I hate studying. But reading's cool. Memorizing is cool. Yeah, it's, well, I'm learning. I know the word cringe. If you talked to me like an year ago, I wouldn't realize what the word cringe is. But I'm learning, so hey. And as of that, it goes hand in hand. The textbooks. I hate the textbooks. It's dead people writing dead words. It is boring from the start to finish. Late to the party, I see. Hello there. Anyhow, now for the last one, which needs a bit of elaboration or explanations if it requires a lot less complications here. I don't like goodbyes. I don't think that's hard to understand, but hard to get why. I for some reason just couldn't for the bottom of my heart just hold on. I need to spill this out. Every single time I saw anything that's related to goodbyes, I'm gonna stop you right here. I saw that, and I'm going to the one thing I cannot tolerate either was Rickroll, so please, for the love of God, don't. I have a PTSD about that. Back to it. Right, what was that? You ruined the mood. God damn it. Goodbyes. It's bad for me. Anything from books, shows, anything that has goodbyes in it, I don't have a good tolerance when it comes to those kind of things. So when that happens, there's gonna be a few tears. And I mean a few tears. Spread it out when goodbye is happening. Right. Now, for the unrelated things. As of now, I officially bestow you the name Myers. You're officially the descendant of Nious Heiramond. So, hold on. My glasses is in... Oh, god damn it. I hate my glasses. Okay. I hate my glasses. I have a chain on my glasses and it just keeps falling off. Right. Glasses back on. Good. Okay. Oh, we're this already. Oh no. Wait, did I? I mean, okay. Oh no, the war is on. The world that I cannot defeat. What was that again? Yes. Now I have officially bestowed upon you the name Heirs. You're officially the descendant of Nious Heiramond. But of course, blood unrelated. So if you want something spicy, well, be my guest. As for the art tags, if you want to go extra spicy on the drawing and physical form, then hashtag AirArt is going to be your best guess. But if you want to go even spicier, then AirArt 18 Plus will be something of your choice. As for the designated emojis, I know it's boring, but this is what I have to do for the moment, which is the books. Hey, there's not exactly that much options I have, okay? Other things are just like glasses or something. Surely you mean. Oh, come on. I was not gonna choose that. I thought I saw that. I saw that nerdy emoji. I was like, I'm not gonna choose it. I'm not gonna choose it. But then again, immediately it was already presented, so maybe? No. Just no. Right. Now on to the future plans. You realize that a lot of these things here is, well, dare I like to say, unconventional. And for that, all I can say is just, I'm really here to have fun. And I don't really have any prior experience to being a public figure prior to this. Evidently, since I'm sweating my ass off at the moment. That was loud. Sorry for the ambient sounds. I'll get to a lot of stories about my neighborhood in a bit. But we need to get through this. For the future plans, of course. Oh my god, what the hell was that? That was... Jesus. Right. Sidetracking. For the first one, definitely. I would like to learn to not sing like a dying goose. I'm not a good singer. Let's be honest here, I'm not a good singer. And amongst all the things, it is the one thing that I cannot do. Well, a lot of things I cannot do. Alright, get it, bless you, Jesus. May the power of God compels you, Jesus. You need to close your door when you're sneezing. Ah, God. Singing was not part of my expertise. Not for Cinnia, though. So, because of that, I'm currently trying to learn singing. And I heard him saying that's... No, this is not a compliment. This is more like a build up to... Okay, now we have to hear him sing now. That's not gonna happen. But it did happen, unfortunately. So after this debut and for the foreseen future, I've already have a cover recorded and done. So stay tuned to that. This is gonna be bad. We're gonna look back to this and realize just how embarrassing this is. Alright, now for the second one. This is more like a personal goal than an actual presentation, which is that I want to learn how to edit correctly. Throughout all the things I have to learn, it is a lot. I have to learn all the things related to Adobe, Photoshop, how to do drawings, how to make my own things, how to understand a lot of things other than just cultural. This one thing is just I couldn't do. Adobe Premiere is not something that's easy to just pick up. But I do want to learn it myself. I wanted to make my own best of the month highlight on this channel, if possible at least. But that's also up for discussion. I know there's a lot of editing and highlight channels outside of the main channel that produces content. So I will put up a lot of posts and a lot of community tabs discussions for this on my YouTube and also Twitter. So if you have not followed those, please go do it. Aside from all the shit posts I like to do all the time, there's going to be a lot of information that you want to know on those tabs. So if you haven't, make sure the Twitter ad is right down there on the left, bottom left. I'm looking at it right now. You see it? Yeah, that thing. Right. If you haven't, go do it. Now for the third one. I want to meet more people. And this really comes down to one thing and one thing only. I have to say this. who in the bright mind invented Uber Eat? Like, for real, if you can just Uber Eat food, have it delivered right in front of your doors, and all you have to do is just pay the bill, take the food, and walk back in, what's the point of going out, right? Just all because of this, and this only, that I just stopped going out. I stopped meeting more people. The only times I'd ever got out, not even for restaurants. Not even for restaurants. I just go out for class, and that's it. There's absolutely no way that I'll be going out, just because how convenient Uber Eats is. Heck, you can even order groceries on it. It's great. There's no point of going out anymore, right? So because of that, I started to meet a lot less people, and the only times I would actually go out was to go to class. So for that reason, I wanted to meet more people, and I want to conquer social anxiety because of it. Like, even go to a restaurant and order a McDonald's Big Mac is just such a chore for me. I just don't want to go anymore. So yeah, I wanted to meet more people. I wanted to do more collabs. I wanted to meet a lot more friends outside of my best friend, Cinnia, just as of yet. As for the fourth one, you'll know what happens about the pending game list, which is that there's a lot of games I wanted to play, and if I wanted to play every single one of them, finish it from top to bottom, it's gonna take a few years, definitely. We'll get to that in a moment, but just remember this, I wanted to finish my pending game list with all of you. Right, for the last one, it's a personal goal, of course, but I feel like it's something that Cinnia would like to do as well, which is that I want to teach Cinnia how to dance. Here's the thing though, Cinnia has the idol of Erudite. For some unforeseen reason, doesn't know how to dance. And me, for some reason, know how to dance. I gotta go right there, flip over. It's fine, get back here. So, in the foreseen future, I will be teaching Cinnia how to dance, and if there's a way, we'll be dancing together. And I'll be so excited about that. Right, now it's a pending game list. A lot of things to go through. I'll make it fast. For the genres, I mainly focus on FPS, third-person shooters, campaign-oriented games, and horror games. Or more horror games than a lot more people like to admit. I do play some the games, like mainstream games like Valorant, CS, even Counter-Strike, and Apex Legends, but I don't really want to stream those on stream. I don't. That's not because I don't enjoy. I do, but I get really competitive when I'm playing those games, and it's not going to be a good viewing experience. It's literally just going to be me raging over everything. So sorry, those things are probably never going to happen. But here's the few games that I'm going to be confirming to play. I'm going to be playing the Nier series. I did play Nier Automata, but I'm planning on playing Nier Replicant. I don't know if I should replay it, because if I replay it, I'm definitely going to try and 100% it, but I've already made a commitment, but why not? So that'll be something I'm going to replay back, and I'm going to be crying a lot. Definitely. But the second one is the Resident Evil series. The Resident Evil series has a lot, and I mean a lot of games, with the recent one coming out being Resident Evil 4 Remake. So I'll be playing that too when it comes out. As for the previous games, it's definitely going to be replaying a lot. We're going to go from Resident Evil 0 all the way to Resident Evil 8 Village. So stay tuned for all of that too. As for the horror games, there is the indie horror series, Chill Out Arts. Some of the things you might be familiar of being convenience store, things like that. I've already played convenience store, unfortunately. But the rest of the games I'll be playing, they're so good. I just love their horror games. They're just plain and simple. Right. As for the fourth one, a lot of you may not be familiar with. I don't blame you. This is one of the most underrated GOAT of zombie survival games. It is one of my favorite as of right now. But a lot of people don't know it. I will be contemplating about playing this. It's great. I would like to play it. As for the not so horror one, but more campaign-oriented ones, is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this game has been sitting in my library since it first came out. The reason for that is because, well, the only thing I have before when I got this PC is a laptop. And if I boot up Cyberpunk with that laptop, I'm going to be able to participate in the Third Cold War. Like, it's going to be the US, the Russia, and then me. That laptop is going to have such power and blowing up that I'm going to be able to compete with nuclear weaponry. So that's not, but I wasn't planning to play it, but now I have a good PC, so congratulations, I will be playing that, definitely. Now for the final two, the one being Honkai Impact. This one is more like a nostalgic trip for me, as both me and Cinnia were the OG of the game when it first came out. We started playing it when it first came out, and we've been hooked since, but I stopped playing 2 years or 3 years later. But we'll be visiting back to the game because apparently it's officially ending when it comes to its primary story. Fantastic. So we'll be going back and go through the entire story together. And there's gonna be many more MISC horror games. Just in case you need a proof, there's 212 games and it's currently growing as of yet. There's, I think, 222 at the moment of this debut. So it's currently growing, and we're going to have a lot of discussion about what game we wanted to play with. So again, a lot of these things are going to be in the community tab and also my Twitters. So if you have not followed it, emphasize it again, go follow it. Now enough of me. Here's the people who made me, the people who bestow upon me this great rendition of myself. My beloved mother, and my endearing father, Mr. Lime. The people who got from Tetrapasha to here may have already been accustomed to all these names, but if you haven't, please go follow these people's Twitter. They're the most talented people yet. Right. As for the opening that you saw there, it was illustrated by my beloved mother again, and also been animated by Eon. If you haven't shown tons of love there, please do. Spamming hearts. Now for the ending, it's by, oh god, okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm going to do this. The illustrated art is by Guanzhu, and for the animated art, final art animated is Eon. So once again, the ad is right here, and if you need it, go ahead. Go out. For the room design that you have briefly mentioned and immediately got switched from the debut short up to the chatting room is by Zen and Liu. Or the room is by Liu, and the streaming room and overlay that you see right here is in fact by Zen. So there's even a website down there if you need it. Go show some love, definitely. Right. So in case you are not finished yet, you're not ready to finish this presentation yet, here is more things. Debut merch! There is a lot of things going ahead. So let's go by one. The debut merch is going to start from March 18th to April 21st. Both me and Cinnia is going to have our own merchandise if you have any interest in it. I know I will be buying it, definitely. If they don't give me one, I'm going to definitely buy one myself. These are too, like, precious to skip through. And if you need a close-up, here is the two things in sale. The canvas art, which is also my ending art, and the acrylic standee. So, go wild. And that's enough of Nious, and there is Cinnia's. Same thing, canvas art, and acrylic standee. Right. So if you have change to spare, then please go do it. Because I know I definitely will. These are way too good, okay? Right. Now, that marks the end of the presentation. So, onto the chatting room. So you might be wondering a few things, before it's finished, of course, is that, maybe these two things that you might be wondering, but maybe you're not, maybe you did, so bear with me here. Where's my preferred and liked music and anime? And where's my future schedules? And to that I say, take it at a time, one at a time. First, let's start with the schedule, shall we? And that is that, unfortunately, I cannot have a stable schedule because of college. And the reason for that is because the leisure time that I have for the time to be able to spend time with all of you, my heirs, is all governed by if my professor's on period or not. Like, in the English major, there's literally just one by one, back-to-back pop quiz, pop assignments, just going about that just kills all my times and all my leisure moments where I can actually enjoy myself. So unfortunately, I cannot, for the love of my life, have a stable schedules. And, but don't worry, I'm going to be announcing the streams that I'll be able to plan a day or 2 days prior to when a stream happens. That's going to happen on my community tab and also my tweets. So once again, this is the 4th time or the 3rd time. If you haven't, go follow it. I won't be able to have like one of these elegant Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all these kind of schedules just laid out and posted prior to the week. So that's that. As for the anime, unfortunately, I don't have time to watch anime. I'm so sorry. I know a lot of people here who watches anime, and for that I have to say I don't have the time to watch it. I did try to get into it, but it never really worked for me. I mean, I did finish a lot of like the stable shonen anime like Naruto or like My Hero Academia, but the last ever anime that I've watched is maybe Komi-san Can Communicate. That's it. I was spoiled the entire plot of Chainsaw Man by my friends, which I'm still pissed about. But yeah, that's a few things I actually know, but I don't really have time to watch anime, nor do I have time to listen to music. And that is, well, not really not listen to music, but rather it's more like a background thing for me than an actual stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry for anyone who are disappointed by that, but if you have any recommendations, please feel free to tell me about it, because I definitely want to watch more anime. Right. Now, everything I needed to inform are finally finished. Here are a few things I want to do. So before that happens, we'll be on to the intermission screen. Wait for me for a while, I need to prepare for this. I'll be back in a bit. Stay tuned. Don't go. Goodbye. this is. This is going to be one of the plans for it. If any of you enjoys some sweet talks to the side, you'll definitely enjoy this. And if you're extremely sensitive to this, have some fun. For the foreseen future, ASMR is going to be something that I'm going to enjoy. And I hope you do as well. So, how was that? I'm never going to go back and rewatch that. Oh, I do. But, well, it's great. Glad to hear that. Very glad to hear that. I am very, very, very looking forward to when we will be able to do some ASMR streams. But as of now, you know that. That's good. Let's go. Yeah. You know, when I first got that mic, I thought I was gonna really, really, really felt it. Because the guy outside was literally sneezing into my window. I was praying for the love of my life for that guy to just close his door and just stop sneezing. But yeah, lucky enough, he did. So, that was one of the projects that I would like to do in the foreseen future. So, I hope you are also excited about that. Now, with a few minutes left, I hope that there is a few things that you wanted to ask me. Any questions that's on the top of your head, feel free to let me know. Because this is forever going to be memorialized as the debut stream, so why not? Ooh, it appears that a URL problem is in the pin comment. I am so sorry for that. I'll be unpinning that for a bit. Once again, all the information for the merch is going to be on the pin comment. Right. So, still got a few minutes to spare. You have anything you wanted to ask? Do you speak Japanese? I unfortunately don't. But I did acquaint myself with katakana. So aside from the kanjis that I have to pronounce in Mandarin Chinese, I can read some of Japanese. Son of it. Anything you wanted to say to future Nious watching? Just for a tiny question. I see clips in your name, right? You're not happens to going to do highlights on this debut, are you? Cause to future Nious, I would say prepare to amaze yourself just how incompetent you are to even switch the scenes, right? I do believe that there's going to be a lot of growth between me as of right now and and later down the line. Cause wow. The second-hand embarrassment is not going to come in until I finish this debut, finish watching Cinnia's professional appointment, and then went back to bed and realized I could have done this a lot better than I could. That I did. But it's all to the past. As Master Ugui says, yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery, and today is present. Did great, right, guys? I love you too. There's a lot of things I can do correctly, but too bad. Too bad. Oh, thank you guys so much. See, that just goes to show that not everyone's like my professor. Okay. It appears that we are running out of time. If you still don't have enough of my embarrassments, it's going to be more tomorrow. So stay tuned for all the schedules there is. Thank you for the understanding. And until then, thank you for participating in the debut. I'll see you next time. Make sure to come and watch the collab tomorrow, Sunday. Goodbye.